everyone, and welcome to Bacon. Also, welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon Evermore Chev's route. So here's what's funny. I made sure that I was recording everything properly, the video as well as the audio, and I had to test the audio 6 times because I had to make some adjustments to the sound because it was picking up too much. And then, then, I don't know when or how, but the video stopped picking up the video. It stopped recording. So I already went through a good deal of the story, and now I gotta go back and start again because the video had decided not to record. Love it when this kind of stuff happens. The day is full of pre-celebration preparations. Emily returns with the princess, and together we discuss the week's planned festivities. Eventually, day bleeds into night. I find myself walking down the corridor with Chevalier, who has insisted on accompanying me to my magic practice. The last time he sat in on a practice, he cheered so ceaselessly, Delora threw him out. Hopefully, we do not have a repeat of that incident. The two of us make our way to the usual spot. I sense the buildup of a spell as soon as we step through the trees and ready my own shield and defense. Delora's eye shoots towards my barrier and harmlessly shatters against it. Hello, Delora. Good evening, Your Highness. She raises an eyebrow at Chevalier. Hello, Casanova. Lady Delora, such a tranquil night, isn't it? I hope you don't plan on ruining it with all of your chattering. The voice is familiar, but I am still shocked to see Sinna sitting in the shadows at the edge of the clearing, watching us. My tiny lord, what a pleasant surprise. It's been a while. I just saw you this morning, but that was hours ago, man. Sinna stands and steps toward us. Hello, Princess Lucette. Hello, Sinna. I am suspiciously. Are you here to criticize my magic? Sinna does not respond immediately. He crosses his arms and looks away, mouth pulled into a taut frown. Cat got your tongue, Cinnamon? I was just thinking. Sinna looks up. I was thinking about how it might be beneficial to train together. Delora grins. I'd appreciate being given credit for my ideas, Sinna. Sinna grumbles. You may have mentioned it before. Why would you want to train with me? Well, I was thinking about how Hilda and Faye grew up friends, but became distant over time. And I was thinking that perhaps if Faye had not left Hilda alone in the dark for so long, the war wouldn't have happened. There's a lot of things that if Faye did differently, the war would not have happened. Perhaps if they had remained close, things would have ended better. I do believe he's asking to be your friend, Princess. I'm here to train, not make friends. I suppose we can train together, for practical reasons. Delora snorts. You two really are cut from the same cloth. But enough banter. Let's get the show on the road. Chevalier seats himself on a tree stump as we begin our lesson. It is strange to practice side by side with the fairy. When I was first learning, I used to practice with waltz, but this is not like that at all. With Senna, it feels like a lesson and feels less like a lesson and more like a balancing act. The last time I screwed that up right there too. I wonder why. With Senna, it feels less like a lesson and more like a balancing act. When he first came to Angiel, I was convinced we would never get along, but... Princess, watch out. I glance down just in time to see her root break through the ground. I burn it to cinders before it can wrap around my foot. That's cheating, Delora. All's fair during magic lessons. And I mentioned this last time, and I'm going to mention it again. Delora, you are the most irresponsible person in this entire party. You know that her magic has been screwing up. She's mentioned it multiple times. That's the whole reason of taking on more magic lessons. And you still thought it'd be okay to have 2 against 1? You just like messing with her. You like making things difficult for her. It's like sadistic pleasure for you to mess with Lucette in any way that you are allowed to. Now, maybe I think Senna and I are finally growing closer. We continue our lesson for the next hour, only stopping when Delora calls an end. Alright, that's where we end tonight, kids. I don't want to exhaust you the day before your performance. Me? Exhausted? Never. Senna crosses his arms, but it does little to hide the rapid rise and fall of his chest. I could have gone for another hour. So, he's about to get very confident. You know, like I said, I've already been through a good deal with this portion, but, he is very confident. Like, I wouldn't necessarily think that having confidence in yourself is egotistical. Accepting compliments that you get for yourself is egotistical or arrogant. I actually think it's a good thing when you can accept the more positive aspects of yourself from other people, as well as, you know, for yourself, but also from other people. Sure, sure. Well, let's pretend this is my breaking point. She turns toward me. Good job, Lucette. You and Senna work well together. And the reason I mention that is because of how they tried to kind of hammer that out of Lucette, so to speak. Like, still having confidence in herself to a certain degree. You know, you should spoil yourself, etc., etc. But it's also been she was to be humbled. She was to learn to be more modest. She was to learn to accept other people and blah, blah, blah. In other words, to be less about herself. I agree. You're very talented, Tiny Lord. Senna smirks. I am, aren't I? Notice that statement. I'm fine with him being confident about himself. But this is the kind of stuff that they were trying to hammer out of Lucette, and he is 10 times worse about it. And that kind of bothers me. Why is this male boy allowed to have all this confidence, but Lucette's not? He glances at me. You're not bad either, princess. Not bad is high praise coming from the Lucis bearer, and they're all just sort of puffing him up. Delora claps her hands. All right, time to wrap things up. We'll see you tomorrow, Lucette. Chevalier. After packing up her supplies and bidding us one final goodbye, Delora heads in the opposite direction toward the tavern. Senna does not follow. He stands in the middle of the clearing, suddenly looking indecisive. I have a question for you. A question? It's about my cousin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were both there when Fait passed away, right? Beside me, Chevalier inhales sharply. Unthinkingly, I reach out to squeeze his hand. That's correct. Why? Senna shuffles on his feet. I didn't know Fait very well. Most of my correspondence with her was through letters, but the letters were rare. I think it was because she wanted to hide my identity during the war. I used to hate her for keeping me in the dark. Senna curls his fingers into fists. I used to think she thought I was incompetent. It's not that she thought you were incompetent. It's that she had her own way of handling things, and in truth, I don't think she had any real belief in anyone. Like, I've actually been wondering about that. Like, why didn't she stop Delora from bullying Lucette? Because she never really came off the same way that Delora did, and Delora was doing it because she was sort of getting back at Lucette's mom through Lucette. But Parfait didn't really come off that way. When she died, I came to Angiel to prove that wasn't true. I told myself I wouldn't make the same mistake she did. I told myself I would be decisive, that I wouldn't let the Lucis lure me into a false sense of calm. And I guess that's the way I was trying to put it, was that, like, she just sort of went with the flow of things, and it felt a little like she didn't care, as well as she didn't completely, you wouldn't really do that, is how she kind of came off to me, like, oh, it's really not that bad, oh, they won't really do that, oh, this, oh, that. Like, she just wasn't taking anything seriously. There we go, that's what I was trying to say. She just wasn't taking anything seriously. Senna's shoulder slump. I'm not even sure she took her own death that seriously, to be honest. I have no idea who I'm trying to prove myself to anymore now that Fait is gone. I can't even compete with her memory because I barely knew her. Senna's eyes flick up toward us. Delora told me she died protecting you from a cruel witch, Lucette. He looks at Chevalier, who deflates beneath his gaze. And she said you tried to save her. Delora won't tell me about her final moments, though. I don't want to press her, but... You want to know what Parfait was like in the end? Yes. Chevalier's grip on my hand is heartbreakingly tight, and I already know which one's the correct answer, which is let Chevalier answer. I know how hard this must be for Chevalier. He knew Parfait better than I did. She was one of his patients, after all. That is why he can tell Senna more about her than I ever could. That, she never really put in the effort to really talk to you that often, did she? And you didn't have a reason to really want to talk to her, so... I squeeze his hand again. It is a silent consolation, my way of showing him that I am here. She kept telling us not to fuss in the end. His words are soft, just an octave above a whisper. The witch who killed her was obsessed with Hilda. He wanted to bring her back. Anyone who stood in his way he viewed as an obstacle to be destroyed. Chevalier sighs. Parfait knew he was hurting inside. When he killed her, she apologized to him. She said she was sorry Hilda never appreciated him. I killed the witch who stabbed her, but it didn't matter. The wound he inflicted on her was fatal. But even as she lay dying, she told us everything was as it should be. Lady Parfait put her life on the line without hesitation. She told me all the time that she was trying to make up for her mistakes. That's why in the end, I don't believe she had any regrets. It was the greatest honor to be able to help her. For a few minutes, the forest is silent. They only sound the gentle rustling of the leaves and the sway of the grass beneath our feet. When Chevalier shivers, I wrap an arm around his shoulders. He promptly leans into me. And I'm trying to understand the logistics of that because he is so much taller than she is that her being able to put her arm around his neck, and I'm trying to like enact it as I speak, would require him to kind of slump forward and lean at an awkward angle for her to be able to put her arm around his shoulders versus, say, around his waist. So that can't have been comfortable. Eventually, Senna speaks into the quiet. Thank you for trying to save my cousin and for being there with her until the end. I can't imagine the courage it took for her to hold on to her ideals and morals, even in the end. Lady Parfait was one of the strongest, kindest people I knew. I will be forever grateful I could be one of her friends. Me too. Parfait believed in me from the beginning. No, she didn't. Neither she nor Dolores gave up on me. Instead of leaving me to stew in my own anger, they rescued me. Nope. Sinna angles his head slightly, his eyes trained on the stars above us. And then he smiles. It appears as if I got my work cut out for me if I want to measure up to her. Not really. She was pretty lame. Chevalier straightens. Sinna, you are every bit as inspirational as Lady Parfait. I have no doubt she would be proud of you. You know, Chevalier, you're not so bad. Did you just call me by my name? Senna turns away with a grumble. There's no need to get so excited about it, old man. Even though he's turned away from us, I can see a smile on his face. I'll see you both tomorrow. Thanks for tonight. His goodbye is brisk. He disappears through the trees before we can respond. How strange that speaking about Lady Parfait tonight was almost... therapeutic? See? Talking about her brings her back, even if just for a little bit. When we talk about her this way, we can fashion her into a hero, as someone who made us and the world a better place. It is the least she deserves for her sacrifice. Sigh. Sage words, princess. Chevalier lifts my hands to his lips and kisses my knuckles. Thank you for your support. Always, Chev. After savoring the quiet of the forest a little longer, we make our way back to the palace. And this is where I ended it last time, and this is where I'm choosing to end it this time as well. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and save on top of the last attempted save. And I was checking the video this time. It's fine. I really don't know why, because in the middle of it, I checked the video then too. It should have still been recording, and when I went to go check to see if any of it had recorded, like, at all, it was just black screen, and I was so mad. Anyway, so that was the reason why this video was a little late. I'm so sorry, but thank you guys for joining me nonetheless. I am Bacon, and this so far has been Cinderella Phenomenon, Evermore, Chev's Route. If you like the video, feel free to like the video. If you like me, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all that lovely stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!